Yeah, but that's what we prepare for. And I've known Brock a long time. When he was state director, he used to work at FEMA. The team knows to go big on these types of events. The big challenge here is it's starting out south and heading north. And if you know Florida, we only got about 3 or 4 major ways to head south. I-75, the Turnpike, I-95, 27 on the interior. And that storm's coming right up those routes. So even though conditions will start improving in South Florida, it's going to be hard to move in from the north. That's why they've been pre-positioning both people and equipment in safe locations, because they weren't going to be able to drive through this hurricane. They've also laid on more transport aircraft from the DOD, military, to fly teams in as required. Florida National Guard has people stashed in their armories ready to come out. So local, state, and federal responders are basically hunkered down with the rest of us. And as soon as conditions permit, they are going out to begin that search and rescue, with the priority on the areas that were under the great storm surge threat. But as we've seen already today, strong winds and tornadoes are also wreaking havoc in parts of the state, and those will also be areas they'll have to attend to.
So I know we're still dealing with the storm. It's right on top of us still. But looking forward, one of the issues is there's a lot of people that evacuated from the east and went to the west, and now they're all caught in the storm. When would be a good time for anybody that is, you're in Gainesville, my wife had to go up there. When would be a good time for people to decide to start heading back home?
When officials tell you to. There's going to be a lot of hazards out on those roads. We're already seeing trees down, signs down, power lines down. So let the emergency crews secure and repair a lot of that damage and make sure those hazards are taken care of. The last thing you want to do is get on the road and find out you can't even get where you're trying to go. So I would not be in a rush. If I'm in a safe place when this storm passes, stay there. Give yourself some time. I realize everybody wants to get home quickly, but wait till the officials have been able to get out there and make sure the roads are safe and they've been able to secure the hazards before you get out there. Because the other thing you're going to do is get in the way. You start putting a lot of traffic out there, that's going to block the responders trying to get to the people that need help. It's going to slow down utility crews trying to get power back on. So if you're somewhere safe, yeah, you want to get home. I get that. But give yourself time. Wait for the local officials say you can head back. You don't want to impede the response, and you certainly don't want to get out there with the hazards that are going to be all up and down these highways right after the storm passes.
And follow up real quick on this storm being a record-setting storm, Hurricane Irma. I have to ask you, the Waffle House Index, can you explain that to us real quick and see what are we going to be expecting for aftermath?
Well, Waffle House is one of those restaurants. They pride on staying open and getting open right after disasters. They have a very simple mission statement: get open. And the Waffle House Index is basically, if they're up with a full menu, that's green, they're in good shape, and that area is probably not hit as hard. If they have a limited menu, that's yellow. They may have had power outages or anticipating that and have gone to a limited menu. Currently, right now, up here in Gainesville, that is the status. They are yellow. We've been having power outages, and they're getting ready for that. But when they're closed, that's red. And again, as the teams are heading into these areas, the Waffle House is not the only indicator, but it is certainly a bellwether of how heavily impacted areas have been when they're closed.
All right, Mr. Craig Fugate, appreciate your time, and thank you for everything you've done and all the information you can give us. We'll be following you, following up with you throughout the next few days to make sure that everything is going as it should be after the storm passes through. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And Veronica, real quick, let me just tease the website real quick. We have certain sections on our website that Hurricane 101 frequently asked questions. Just on the heels of this interview with Mr. Craig Fugate, it tells you what to look for after the storm. I know every